once again I find myself reviewing a game that was neither recently released or popular. Why do I keep doing this? God knows. So for that reason, I'll be starting once again with a brief summary of how the game works. You start out with a little truck that deploys into your building thing, then you make your power building thing, your soldier building thing, your money building thing, your plane building thing, your tank building thing, and your super sci-fi weapon building thing. You take all those, you shake about 100 tanks out of them, and then you send them off to destroy your opponent's base. The catch, of course, being that they're trying to do the exact same thing. Which brings me to the first part of my review, the computer opponents. Now, as we all know, computers are very clever and very good at computer games, obviously. They can shoot, drive, fight, but give them a load of soldiers and tanks and ask them to devise military tactics, then they're all thumbs. Because the bottom line is, a game like this requires imagination, something computers are renowned for not having. Which is why no matter what their difficulty level supposedly is, they're very easy to defeat. And said difficulty levels are as follows: easy, medium, and then brutal. Yeah, just skip straight to brutal for some reason. No hard. Now, battling the brutal enemies is a lot like going to war against a small crybaby who's 3 or 4 years too old to be crying all the time. In that you really want to destroy it, but you shouldn't because it wouldn't be a fair sport and your mum would probably tell you off. So maybe it's not exactly like that, but it's about as difficult. So as you can imagine, going to war against the easy enemies was a lot like going to war against a pile of dead fish. So for that reason, unless your idea of fun is ordering a bunch of small people to run around and shoot stuff for half an hour, which is of course a metaphor for the missions, don't buy this game unless you're online. A word which, when coupled with the word play, refers to the next part of my review. Now, to understand this next bit, you have to understand that in Red Alert 2 you can play as a number of different countries, each with their own signature weapon or unit. I tended to favour France and Korea for their respective awesome cannons and planes. But the amount of times I was turned away from games for this reason was appalling. It was like Majora's Mask all over again. Now, once you've got a game, before the game can start you have to go through what I call the phases. The success of each phase being entirely up to chance. First up, there's the little orange light phase, where you have to wait for the orange light next to the other players' names to light up, indicating a connection. There's about a 50-50 chance of this phase working. After that, if you're on a custom map, you need to go through the transferring map phase, and that always works. Now after that is the dreaded loading phase. Now, whether this works or not, it'll take about 10 minutes, so obviously if it doesn't work, that's very frustrating. While you're waiting, the game will entertain you with a quick reminder of what's so great about your country. Now, the odds of this phase working vary between 30 and 50%. Finally, there's the money rising stage. The game will start, and at the top right of the screen your little credit count will rise up to 10,000, which is your starting value. However, it will always freeze for a second on 143. Now, if the game's going to work, it will unfreeze in about 1 or 2 seconds. If not, it will make you wait about a minute and then tell you the connection is broken. Now, the odds of this stage working are about 60-70%, but all the same, with all these possibilities of failure, the odds of actually getting a game are pretty damn unlikely. And now for the actual gameplay. The gameplay is okay, kind of-ish. But all it really comes down to is the people you're playing it with. Yeah, I'm no longer acknowledging this as a game you can play against a computer. Now, there's 2 different kinds of people who play this game. There's the professional prats who find themselves too busy playing the game to talk to you, and there's the people who actually remember the fun aspect of gaming and make the time to make idle chit-chat while they're blowing up your base. So, to sum up what I said in the past 25.36 seconds, Red Alert 2 is a passable game, and it's an original way to hang out online. I suppose if I had to sum it up in one sentence, I'd say it was like Facebook, but with more explosions. Or as I would call it, Explode Book.